Most of us have learned, or if we're really honest, most of us continue to learn. There are many things in our lives we have little or no control of. But how we react to them is a matter of attitude. Our lessons today speak of the difference our attitudes can make. Again, from the Old Testament, these words, "O Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you. I will praise your name, for you have done wonderful things, plans formed of old, faithful and true." How's that attitude? Or the second lesson, "Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice." How's that attitude? The gospel lesson, the king sends his slaves saying, "Tell those who have been invited, I have prepared a dinner. Everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet." But they made light of it and went away to their own business. How's that attitude? These verses relate to the most motivating aspect of our personality, our attitude. Isaiah is addressing a people who had lost all hope, their lives completely devastated, homes burned, loved ones lost, the nation destroyed, and now they're in captivity. Surely the people thought God had forsaken them. But Isaiah tells them, don't lose hope. God is faithful. Put your trust in him, praise his name, and you will be delivered. In God's people, if they were to survive, their attitude of hopelessness had to change. The exile was not going to be short. Only by adopting the right attitude would the people be prepared to return and rebuild their lives. In our second lesson, Paul's in prison, and he's writing to the Corinthians, or the Philippians, who they loved Paul very much, and they knew his situation was grave. What could Paul write to them that would strengthen them in faith? His words still speak today. How do we maintain a strong faith in the midst of our troubles? We do this best when we have an attitude of thanksgiving. And Paul gives a list of positive things to think about to bring light into those dark moments in our life. Both Isaiah and Paul speak of an attitude that empowers us to live satisfied and faithful and honor our God. When facing hard times, our attitude may be the key factor that makes a difference between defeat or growing stronger in our faith in our relationship with God. In the gospel lesson, we encounter a different attitude, an attitude that's turned inward. The people who turned down the king's invitation were not bad people. Their flaw was they were self-centered. The parable has to do with our attitude about kingdom living, being a part of Christ's church. First thing to note, the king does not command the people to attend the banquet. He invites. A command does not give a choice. An invitation is a better test of our hearts because it reveals a true attitude about the king and what authority he has in our life. The question is not, do I have to come? But rather, do I want to come? God's invitation is a gracious one. It is his son's banquet, and the cost of admission has been paid in full. If we accept the invitation, we must put on the robe. The robe is not of our own making. That, too, is a gift. If we have an attitude, I'll do it, but I'll do it my way, we insult the host. We insult God. Recently, I came across a list of what is questions with one or two answers to demonstrate how we invent ourselves by the way we think. I'll raise the question and give you the answer, and you think whether you agree or not. What is the most destructive habit? Worry. What is the greatest problem to overcome? Fear. What is the most worthless emotion? Self-pity. What is the greatest contribution to failure? Excuses. What is the ugliest personality trait? Selfishness. What is the worst thing to be without? Hope. What is the most powerful force in life? Love. What is the most satisfying work? Helping others. What is the greatest shot in the arm? Encouragement. What is the most beautiful thing to wear? A smile. What is the most contagious spirit? Enthusiasm. What is the greatest asset in life? Faith. What is the most powerful channel of communication? Prayer. What is the greatest joy? Giving. What is the most important thing in life? God. We invent ourselves a little each day with our attitude. As Christians, we work to invent a better self by developing a better outlook and character. Story is told of a carpenter who was ready to retire. He told his employer that he wanted now just to live leisurely with his wife. He would miss the paycheck, but he wanted to retire. His boss was sorry to see a good worker and a good friend go, and he asked him if he would build just one more house as a personal favor. The carpenter said yes, but his heart was not in it. He resorted to shabby workmanship. He used inferior materials. It was an unfortunate way to end a good career. When the carpenter finished his work, his boss came to inspect the house. And the boss handed him the key to the front door. "This is your house. It is my gift to you for all the hard work you've done for so many years for me." If only he had known. So it is with us. If we build our lives giving our least instead of our best, giving our least instead of our best, with shock we will awake one day to look at the situation we have created and find we are living in a house we built. It's all a matter of attitude. Amen.